Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello dear friends, welcome to this first lecture of Module 4 on Geological Construction Material and Cement Aggregate Reaction. In previous lectures, we have discussed about different types of ground, engineering properties of rocks, concept of rocks and rock mass, rock strata and geoground and geomaterial. Now we are going to develop toward the application side of our developed basic knowledge platform, and in these lectures we will address about construction material in general and dimensional stone in particular. Friends, in these lectures, we are going to elaborate about construction material and dimensional stone. Regarding this, we are going to cover about introduction related to construction material, classification of construction material, then brief about major construction materials, and then dimensional stone. Friends, as you know, we have various kinds of material in nature as well as in society for use as construction material for making different structures regarding settlement, regarding movement, regarding facilitating our daily domestic, social, cultural and industrial life. As far as the Earth's surface and subsurface concern, it contains huge reserves of various materials such as rock strata and soil. Both rock strata and soil we have utilized as construction material from time of historical past, and the civil constructions such as building, dams, retaining wall, embankment, buildings, airports, canals, roads, etc. requires large quantity of material acquired from natural resources. Beside this, we have some industrial materials as artificial materials utilized for construction of engineering structure, regarding the settlement, regarding the movement, regarding the shelter, regarding the stability, regarding our prosperity, etc. The types and quantity of construction material to be used in a civil project depends on the engineering design of a specific structure as well as objective construction of such engineering structure. As far as construction material is a concern, the construction material is any material used for construction of any engineering structure such as rail track or building or retaining wall or embankment or dam or airport or road, etc. You can see the use of natural material as supporting material to railway track. Some of the material utilized to develop such type of combined material as a concrete to support bridge. Some of the materials we are going to utilize for construction of walls and others, for development of dam, etc. As far as the classification of construction material is concerned, we are going to target about natural geological materials, about man-made materials, and about some of the resources not belonging to geological but available in nature, like wood, like water, and others also. As a engineering geological discipline, we are more concerned about the natural geological material utilized for construction purpose. From the natural geological materials, we are able to make some artificial materials as partial support to the construction work and also recognized as man-made construction material. Besides this, we have varieties of resources also available except geological domain as wood, as water, as some ash, etc. One of the important and widely used material in from historical past and still extended up to in this modern days for enjoyment, that is the threads. And this thread you can see, this is very simple natural materials utilized for making some temporary shelters. The structure made up of threads is not having more life. It is of the limited life and recovered from the vegetation with the help of dry vegetation such as straw, water, reed, seeds, rushes, wreathers, or palm branches. The peoples from the historical past were familiar to make some temporary shelters of limited life regarding proper settlement and safety from heavy rain, safety from some high speed winds and some wild animals, etc. temporarily. The peoples of the past know well for fabrication regarding these type of material for making some small to medium sized houses and settlement. These materials also utilized by some historical peoples for blocking the waters and other temporarily with the use of some soil, some cow ducts, etc. This is a very old method that we have used for roofing. In developing countries, thatch is used nowadays because low cost dry vegetation is available in various forms. The developed country, they are used thoughts for the elevation purpose or to give the rustic look to their houses only for enjoyment and for a good look. Some of the remote villages in India, the peoples are still utilizing such type of material as construction material for making some temporary shelters having life of 5 to 6 year maximum. Beside this, we have rock. We have varieties of rock like slate, like sandstone, like limestone, like dolomite, like granite, like basalt, like diorite. Varieties of materials belonging to igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic rocks. And in addition to this, we have varieties of derived materials also, which is lying between soil and rocks. As far as rock is concerned, rock is a naturally available material and it is used as a construction at different places and for different use. We have ample example of the monuments and rock cut structures described and available throughout the India, throughout the world as historical heritage structures made up of rocks belonging to different categories like sedimentary or igneous or metamorphic. When we are going to utilize rock for practical purpose, then we have to utilize some parameter for selection of rock. In previous lectures, we have already discussed our stone man have idea about the selection of rock based on hardness, based on durability, based on porosity, based on permeability and strength. These basic parameters utilized for selection of different type of rocks by our ancestors of historical age. Similar here, when we are going to utilize rock for construction purpose, then we have to define a selection of rocks under specific parameters. These specific parameters belonging to hardness, durability, then permeability, strength, compactness, etc. When a rock is defined under certain technical specification, then we started recognizing that rock as stone, like building stone, like roofing stone, like flooring stone, etc. The stone or rock which is being used in construction should be hard, durable, tough, and free from weathered soft patches of materials, cracks, and other discontinuities, which are going to influence the strength of rock. Such piece of rocks, when we are going to utilize for construction material, recognized as stone. Stone means a rock piece defined by certain technical parameters. The stone used for construction has various different applications based on their properties as per requirement of design engineering project, and some different types of rocks or stones are listed as ballast, granite, sandstone, slate, laterite, limestone, marble, bauxite, dolerite, diorite, pitchblende, etc. Next type of materials belonging to the natural resource except resource other than geological materials like wood and timbers. The timber is the one of the source of wood that used for construction or for carpentry purpose, and the timber is a material utilized from our historical time and would require to give some supplement input to our engineering structure. Next important component of construction, we are having some supportive material to the binders and recognized as aggregate. So aggregates are most commonly used materials in constructions, generally derived from the natural geological materials. Nowadays, we have started utilizing some artificial materials as aggregate, but still in major cases we are utilizing natural materials as aggregate. In addition to this, we have some man-made materials like fired brick or the clay blocks. You can see these blocks subjected to a defined quantity of heat or amount of heat, then this earth material changes in form of rate with an enhanced strength. The fire bricks are manufactured similar to the normal bricks, and but in a burning purpose, fire bricks are exposed to very high temperature. A normal brick we are utilizing for construction of walls and filling the gaps in buildings and others, but fired bricks are utilized special purpose for making chimneys and others. Next is as a binder recognized as cement, and cement is a fine powdery materials derived from natural lime containing or lime rich material or rocks. It is utilized as a binder for the substance and set and harden quickly, therefore utilized to make the objects in combined form by filling the cement along with some additional material, and utilized as a mortar or making of concrete. Then some fabrics also utilized as a additional support to make the engineering structures beautiful, safe, and suitable as well as hygienic. In addition to this, we are lucky to have huge quantity of natural materials that we can utilize for construction of civil engineering structures, as earth surface contains vast resource of varieties of materials such as rock, debris, sand, sediments, soil, etc. And these geological materials have been used for construction purpose from ancient time. Engineering construction such as dam, canals, road, embankment, retaining wall, building, road, etc. requires such type of natural materials for construction. If we are going to categorize or classify natural construction material, then natural construction material is classified as a rock, as cobble, pebbles and gravels, as a sand, as a soil and clay and pozzolans. Rocks are naturally occurring material that are most abundantly used in civil construction. The hard durable rocks free from deleterious materials are selected for use as a stone. The deleterious materials are hazardous material which are going to weaken the constructed structure. Therefore, we generally avoid deleterious material. Boulders, cobbles, shingles, gravels, sand, silt, clay are the product of rock erosion and are available in huge quantity in our river valley and other recent deposit like quaternary deposit, and these materials are also utilized as construction material for various purposes. Soil and clay used in construction of an earth dam or some earthen houses. Still in India, the peoples are utilizing the earth for making some small houses of limited life. Beside the earth dam, we have varieties of structures that are involving the use of soil and clay. And one of the good example, the core of earth dam generally made up of highly compacted soil or clay. The volcanic rocks is the source of natural pozzolan used as a partial substitute of cement. Although pozzolan have no cementitious value, But when we are going to blend with cement, then there is enhancement in binding capacity on one side. On another side, because the cement is a costly and pozzolan is a cheap, therefore we are going to save some money also. Beside these, conker is a fresh water carbonate. Some of the localities of the world is rich in conker deposit nearby some river basins, and the conker is actually contains high concentration of lime, and thus lime are utilized for construction purposes as a binder material. And this conker in India, particularly in part of North India, we are utilizing as a mortar for making house. Nowadays, this lime extraction from conker have limited options, only limited to some domestic localized industrial purposes. And beside this, we have worm shell, some fly ash, some powder brick, also recognized as a surkhi, utilized as a binder or as a mortar for construction purpose. In addition to this, iron, steel, some paints, some synthetic, some chemicals are also utilized for construction work. Beside this, iron ore associated materials also utilized as a construction materials as morang, and we have some roads in particularly cantonment area made up of morang type of materials. Cement generally manufactured from limestone, and mixing of cement with aggregate and water in a fixed proportion yields concrete, and concretes are widely utilized for construction purpose of different engineering structures, because the concrete after setting provide hard, durable, strong and compact material which are able to sustain the design load of engineering structure. Instead of concrete, we are also utilizing concrete, and concrete is used in some places in construction of dam and weirs or barrage or some heavy structure. The process of making concrete involves the preparation of the watery mixture of cement and sand, which act like a colloidal paste immiscible with the external water, and then mixing this colloidal paste with stone chips under pressure make the system hard, compact, durable and strong with respect to time after setting. Beside this, we are also utilizing mortar, mixture of cement and sand along with water for binding the bricks or binding the stone pieces, etc. Attribute and usage of different kinds of construction material. The major attributes is related to hardness, related to strength, related to durability, related to compactness. The hard and durable natural materials are available abundantly from natural resources for use as a construction material for building or other engineering purposes. And hard rocks are generally used as a block for masonry work or for supportive work like ballasts. And many construction materials are also received from the artificial source such as factory waste, fly ash, due to burn of natural material from different types of construction purpose, as we are going to elaborate in our future classes as well as in this class. As far as geological construction material is concerned, the geological construction materials we can categorize broadly into categories. First is dimensional stone and second is crust stone. The dimensional stone can be further divided as building stone, facing stone, decoration stone, and flooring and roofing stone. However, the crust stone is also divided based on the purpose as road metals, as railway ballasts, as for riprap. So first we are going to define about the dimensional stone. The dimensional stones are large irregular blocks of rock that are obtained from rock quarry faces. Dense rock with low porosity and high strength and hardness, but amenable to dressing and polishing are recognized as good dimensional stone. The dimensional stones suitable for use as a facing stone of walls, as a building stone of houses, and like roofing stone, flooring stone, etc. In general, the dimensional stones are hard, durable enough to withstand natural wear and tear caused by natural agency as well as human. Ideally, these stones should be resistant to fire, heat, water, and wind action to provide some authentic safety constraints as well as stability. Dimensional stones are mainly used as a building stone for construction of entire building and recognized as building stone or to cover parts of building. In historical times, we have examples of many buildings, royal places, huge pillars, religious edifices as example of example of engineering structures made up of dimensional stone or blocks of rocks. The irregular stone slabs obtained from the quarry face were first dressed into rectangular slabs or blocks and then used in the masonry work of building or dam or any structure. The mortar used for binding the slabs includes plastic clay, lime, burn shell, conker, surkhi, etc. as indigenous material along with cow dung and molasses as a binder. Use of stone blocks for constructing a building is nowadays not more popular, but in previous times were utilized widely for making some settlement related structure. The dimensional stones are large dressed block of granite marbles with mirror-like polished or still widely utilized for surface covering of important building to provide an aesthetic appearance and beauty to the building. One of the examples is a massive mauve colored Vindhan sandstones are excellent building stones that were used in many historical buildings and are still being used for decorating building walls and floors as well as for masonry work. The milky white Makrana marble is another example taken from Rajasthan, which was used in making number of buildings, and one of excellent example is a Taj Mahal. Blocks of granite gneiss of huge dimension mined from the peninsular India were also utilized for making number of historical building or still utilize and export to the foreign country to get the foreign currencies and others. These blocks are sliced into various sizes, polished, and to obtain a glittering surface, good look, and utilized as decorative stone. Friends, these materials of elementary nature regarding different type of construction materials belonging to natural geological domain, belonging to the domain except or beside geological component, and then man-made widely utilized for construction work, taken from the engineering geology book written by Gangopadhyay, published from the Oxford University publication, then partial support from similar engineering geology book written by Well FG in 2007, and then partial support from the textbook of engineering geology written by Kashavulu NC in 2016, and then a book written by Waltham T on foundation of engineering geology is acknowledged thankfully for the availability of material regarding these lectures. Friends, as far as conclusion is concerned, material used for construction of engineering projects are known as construction materials, and the natural and man-made materials are used as construction material. The geological materials are used as natural construction material, and the major natural construction materials are characterized as a dimension stone, crushed stone, aggregate, sand, clay, silt, and soil as well as pozzolan. Dear friends, in this class we have discussed about elementary aspect related to construction material in general with a special emphasis on dimensional stone. Further, we will discuss about crushed stone and other kinds of material in our next class. Thank you very much for your patience.